Hey y'all. So here I am. Amen. I'm back for weeks. What are we on 4 and 5 of Weight Watchers? The Purple Plan. So last week I didn't record because I didn't really do anything different, and I was pretty much on point with everything I had been doing the week before. And that week, the only thing that was different about that week was the introduction of like pasta to my dinners. So I was just trying to play around and see how that would work for me. So by the end of that week, on that Saturday, I ended up losing 0.6 pounds, which I was surprised about because I didn't think that I was gonna lose anything. But then we entered week 5 and things got a little shaky, and I'm not sure. A couple of things happened. I feel like I snacked more often, and then I was dehydrated and only drank mostly coffee, which held up physical processes. Amen. So because things in my body were not moving smoothly, I was holding on to a lot of weight that needed to go. And although I realized that pretty early in the week, well, midweek, like Wednesday, I was downing a whole bunch of water and like other juice water mixtures to try and fix the problem. But it didn't really work until today, which is Sunday. So yeah, in between then, I also made like a soup to try and help things along. So that soup was spicy, and it had sweet potato, broccoli, beans, and what else? I think that was basically it. And just being more mindful about vegetable intake and fluids. So that's what I'm bringing into week 6. So based on the scale yesterday, on Saturday when I weighed in, it looks like I gained the 5 pounds that I lost, or almost 5 pounds that I lost back. But today, it only looks like I gained 2 pounds. But I also feel like I'm still trying to, move some things out, out of the body. So, just taking that information, moving forward, just to be more mindful about my fluid intake and how much I'm using coffee to substitute for my fluid intake, which doesn't help. And then also being more mindful about when I eat my meals, because I was eating all over the place, and after I ate, and I was just eating around the clock, it seemed like, and not having a steady time where I began and cut off. So I definitely want to pay attention to that this week and not snacking as much. We'll see. So this week, going into this week, I'm gonna have what? Gonna have the soup for dinner, or yeah, I'm gonna have the soup for dinner, and like a wrap with cheese and deli meat and guacamole and salsa for lunch, and then for breakfast, either oatmeal or cereal and eggs. That seems to work for a breakfast. And then the only thing that I did the week that I lost the most was having popcorn. If I ate all my food and then still felt hungry, I just had popcorn whenever I was hungry. So I think I'm going to go back to that and see how that goes. And that was probably added roughage as well to keep me, regular. So yeah, that's all that's been going on. Nothing too fancy. Still trying to, stick to lower points, in this point system, and having the 0 point foods, and just being more mindful of how much I'm willing to spend on a meal, and how I can, make changes so that it's not such a high point value. Okay, so that's it. We're going into week 6, and I guess I'll see you next Sunday. I also forgot, I wanted to add, when you're going through this process too, definitely pay attention to your non-scale victories, amen, because the scale can be a good help, but it also kind of throws you off and makes you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So although the scale made it look like I had basically done all this work in these past, how many weeks? 5 weeks for nothing. My clothes, I still feel oh my gosh, feel better in my clothing, and I feel like I look better in my clothing, not as bloated, not as tight. Amen. So although the scale was saying something, okay, my clothes was saying something else. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna try and figure out balance is what I need. Balance moving forward. Okay. So yeah, don't let the scale throw you off your game. Okay, continue the work. I'm also gonna be going back to the gym in a few weeks, maybe like next week. So we'll see how that goes too. Okay, bye. For real this time, bye.